Welcome to Arnhem Checkpoint, to my second match in the balance tournament, balance mod tournament from Relic. And this time we have the opponent who is playing Wehrmacht, Megbill. It's gonna be, of course, a weird match because, well, Wehrmacht. I hate Wehrmacht. So yeah, I'll go Partisans because on this map it's good. And the reason I chose this map instead of Langres this time, it was the same, down to the same with Vito's, the same maps. I chose this map instead of Langreskaia because against Wehrmacht in Langreskaia, it's just a massacre. It's really good. Wehrmacht in Langreskaia is just really annoying to deal with, and I really didn't want to have to deal with that stuff. This guy doesn't really have any ranks from what I've seen, but I won't keep my guard down at all, because that's a bad idea. As much as I would like to, I'll just go for a fuel cache on my cutoff, because on this map the cutoff is fairly dangerous, and he's gonna go for his machine gun. I of course know about this from my obviously my hacks that come from being partisan doctrine, aka my radio intercept that allows me to see what the enemy is building, or what the enemy has built, and he was building this MG42 machine gun. That means that it was easy enough for me to realize what was going on and go for the building. Now he's gonna be attempting to fire at me from this shaft over here, and he's got his grenadiers there, so I'll just retreat, tactical retreat, not like full flight into the base. I'm gonna go for a third conscript squad, and then I'm gonna switch into perhaps tier 2 and get a mortar team on the field. Definitely the Molotovs are gonna be very important right now. But other than that, there's really it's really all open in terms of technical choices, etc., etc. And he's got his machine gun over here, which shouldn't be in range, but of course, Relic doesn't really want to fix these things. It's not in the advertised range, but of course it can hit me, because why the hell not? That's really annoying, honestly, that things keep doing this in this game. I'll just try to get this conscript squad up into the church area, sort of, just because, well, it would be nice just a nuisance, just to keep them occupied a little bit. Well, I bring up my second conscript squad if I'm gonna be finishing my Molotovs soon enough. I do believe I will be able to get into heavy cover before he can. Oh, so he also went for a fuel cache over here, as you can see. Thankfully, I don't get suppressed, and I do manage to get my Molotov out into the building, which will burn out the machine gun. And I also will have my partisans available soon. That's really nice. Doesn't look like he's gonna be burning though, because he... Oh, that's really smart! He switched to the other side with... That is actually really fucking smart on his part. He switched to the other side with the machine gun so that the models would be repositioned into some more favorable ground for him. I tried to use my partisans to wipe out that squad, rather than machine gun, but it doesn't really seem to have worked out. I do believe I can wipe out that Grenadier though, so that's really good for me. There's also another Grenadier, okay, that's very interesting. So I'm able to deal at least some damage to them. And I'll get out and throw a grenade. And I've got also my engineers behind them. Awesome grenade, really, really nice. I think I can wipe it. Yep, wiping it with my engineers, that's just really, really good. Getting out those early wipes, that's what Soviets are all about, of course. I'll just try to confuse them with the squad. Ooh, no. Gonna use my my engineers in a decapping role. Try to get this squad over here. Try to get this squad to Molotov this little annoying fuel cache. I'm not actually sure if it does damage though. Okay, it does. That should be fairly easy to destroy then. Gonna use this squad. I will actually go for a field infirmary on my base, because that will be very useful. I do manage to capture the thing. and people are talking to me on Steam because, of course, why would I have any peace? I'm in a tournament. And that's still up, so I'll have to throw another Molotov. And I'll also get in the building because I don't really want that to happen. Lashed Mechanized Company is on the field, so that means that I do need to upgrade my lovely AT grenades, which will allow me to counter the scout car, which is going to come out soon enough. It's definitely going to be on the field soon, and I don't really want to be caught off guard by this. So I'll bring up my Conscript Squad once again, and I'll get into this house just to deal the extra annoyance to the enemy. And since there's no one coming up, I'll just keep moving through. And there is a machine gun up here, so I'll come in with the flanking. I'll also be able to beat this Grenadier squad back. You may use this Conscript Squad to finish off the fuel cache. And in the meantime, this should be easy enough work for my Partisans to come in here and finish off this guy. His Grenadiers are retreating, and his MG is also retreating, so I can finish off the point capture with my engineers fairly enough. Yeah, these engineers stand no chance. Gonna be finishing the capture over here. Cutoff is finally in my control with no fuel cache anymore. I can go for a tier 4, which is what I will do because I'm actually taking losses on the squad. No, got kind of lucky. Scout car is on the field, yep, as expected. The scout car is available for him, and he will make use of it, definitely, because it is an excellent unit, and he should make use of it as much as possible. Engineers finally finished capturing, and no! Oh, that is just very, very annoying. Now that mines don't really insta-kill models anymore, though, that's not as bad as it could have been. With the old mines, the way they worked, that would have definitely wiped out my partisans. What happened there was my partisans were planting the mine, and then the scout car came up to them, saw them, shot at the mine, essentially, even though it was shooting at the partisans. It ended up hitting the mine anyway, and that was really bad because, of course, the guys were still huddled around the mine like a, boy to a cradle, and they kind of got blown up. But since in the Balance Mod preview, they, essentially made it so mines don't really one-shot models anymore, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. If the mines were like they are in the live version of the game, then the partisan squad would have most likely been wiped out in one go, which would have been not that great because this is a Vet 1 partisan squad with 8 kills, and it's almost up to Vet 2. Even though partisans with Vet aren't that impressive, they're still nice. It's still nice to have that veterancy for them. So I can definitely go for my tier 4, and that is what I want to be doing right now because I've got the complete control of the fuel. He's got a second scar. Yeah, it's just definitely I want to go for the tier 4 because at this point it's gonna be just a race to getting out the big vehicles before he can recover from the fact that he went for 222s, rather the 444 build. In the balance patch, the 222s are nerfed, which is interesting. In my opinion, the 222 is definitely deserving of a nerf. I'm gonna spawn up partisans from this little shack, and I'm gonna shoot at the scout cars. Of course, I'm gonna miss. I'm gonna try to get out onto the field again to just go from the back. I've been getting a lot of damage over here. I've got my spy network available. Since I built my AT partisans, I don't really have the manpower to go for the tier 4 yet, but I will just keep patiently waiting, and I'll finish off the scout car if my AT partisan wanted to fire. Good, very good. Gonna be dead. There was pretty much no escaping for that little son of a bitch. And I will go for the tier 4 just about now. Now, the machine gun is actually fucking up my partisans in the building really nicely, so I'll have to retreat out of that. I've got another conscript squad over here, though, harassing his own munitions point, so I'll be able to deny him munitions once again. He hasn't been able to upgrade any of his squads because he hasn't really had any munitions this entire time. And a scout car is up here, so he will eat an ET grenade because he went up a bit too close. Can't really finish it off in any way. Yeah, I might be able to wait with my AT partisan, to spawn an AT partisan, but it's probably just not worth it at all. I'll use this math hacks over here Looks like he's got his machine gun still here and 2 squads here, perhaps 1 pioneer. Pack gun is on the field for him. My conscripts will have their AT grenade recharged in 1 second. And they have been huddling up for some reason, which is really bad. Don't get huddled up. Main gun destroyed, but unfortunately another squad approaches, which means I'll have to retreat. He has been able to upgrade his squads just about now, which is just not that good for me. But thankfully, I've also got the rest of my infantry that's coming up from being reinforced. That will be a wipe on my conscripts. This is really bad, but I've got my tier 4. I can actually go for a T-34-76 as soon as I have the manpower, which he doesn't really have a counter for. He's got a pack, but he hasn't really planted any mines, so I will be able to easily avoid it if I can keep outside of the range of the Panzerfaust, which should be easy enough. He's going to go for this building, which is not a good idea because he will be vulnerable to partisans. When my partisans get up there, I will be able to throw a grenade. I'll actually get behind here, throw a grenade at the door, because this guy seems to be a little bit on point with his own micro of his units. Not too much, just a little bit, especially his units in buildings seems to have been microed fairly decently so far, so I will have to be crafty with my usages of my units, and it looks like this machine gun actually is losing. That's just not good. Oh, this pack is over here. That's just really good for me. Will allow me to deal a lot more damage to it than he would want to. He's gotten for Panzer Grenadiers. Not really the best choice, in my opinion. Need to retreat the squad though as soon as possible. Not really the best choice because, well, with the kind of unit lack that he's got, the manpower situation we will be having is not too great. And that grenade, as you can see in the door, just being excellent. Excellent. So the MG is going to be firing at my conscripts. That allows my partisans enough time to get behind him. But he will be having his own Panzer Grenadiers in the area, so I need to be very careful and retreat as soon as possible. I'm going to be upgrading Minesweepers on my engineers. Don't really want to be going around without that. He doesn't really have any counter to my T-34 just running around, and I'm going to... Yep. Panzer Grenadier, as you can see, that's going to be expensive for him. That's going to be a wipe, I believe, because he's in negative cover, and I'm just going to chase him. I don't really care what's out there, I'll just chase that Panzer Grenadier squad. That's 340 manpower that I don't want him having. The Axis up, or rather the Axis 2. And there's also a scout car over here. Or rather, and I just failed really hard. And I'll eat a Panzerfaust, and I'll lose my T-34-76, it looks like. Which is not exactly what I wanted because I misclicked. It's just really unfortunate. Instead of clicking on my T-34-76, I was clicking on my infantry in the base. With my orders. Doesn't look like he will be able to actually capitalize on this. That is really weird. I would have thought it would have been certain that he would have chased with his pack into my T-34. Does look like I'll be able to repair it after all, up to about here. Really need to get into the house. This machine gun that's been over here is really, really annoying, but I'll be able to finish it off eventually. He's gonna pop incendiary armor-piercing rounds, very likely. It's not really changing his setup. Looks like he put on force face, and yeah, he will have to retreat out of that. Got my second T-34 on the field, so just my armor superiority will be very useful at this point. I'm gonna throw a grenade at his own engineers. I don't think he realizes this. No, he does. He will be able to escape because of that. Very nice usage of that out of him. So the pack gun is available, but not really going to be too useful against my infantry. And my infantry are going to be able to just charge in, and this is a GG. So another round passed. Thank you. I'll see you in the next one. There is a very high chance that I'll actually have someone good this time. So I'll see you in the next game.